Oh, there I am. Oh, there's Louise and Brenda. Hello, hello, ladies. Sherry, hi. Oh, I got 3 exclamation points from you today. Thank you. Hi, Sally. So, oh, and Sue. Sue, I don't recognize your last name, but hello. And Diane and Tina. Oh my goodness, Lafayette, Louisiana. You're down there with. Oh, we got some family down there. So, and Joanne and Dean. Hello, 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 everyone. So, hi. In Alabama. Oh, Joyce, hello. Oh, I'm so glad you made it home safely. I've worried about you, although I did notice you made comments. And hi, Carrie. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the comment on the jacket. Hi, Jana. So good to see all of you. It's so fun seeing your names popping up now that I know who you are. And so thanks for the compliment on the quilt. We'll definitely be talking about this in a minute. This is a little bit of show and tell for me today. I don't typically quilt. And those of you who took the class with me on the cruise know that I teased some of the quilters in the class because I said you got to let go of that 1/4-inch seam allowance and we just sort of want to be free flowing. And so hello, Marie and Joanna and Sherry. Oh my goodness. Washington State. Oh, good, Joyce. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Hello. Oh, Karen, thank you. Thank you. And hello, Marilyn. So I want to say a couple of things. Some of you from the first week of the cruise, I wanted to tell you thank you. For those of you who don't know, my son had been ill. He'd been sick before, and then my husband took him to the doctor, and doctors ordered some tests that just sort of freaked me out because, we're moms and we're not there. And so we had like a big, massive group mom hug in the bathroom. So to all of you ladies who supported me and let me sort of get a bit dramatic, not that I don't normally because I'm very even keel, obviously. I just wanted to say thank you. I really appreciate it. He is doing fine. He had been sick, and it's something that is going to sort of I don't think he wants me revealing details, not that it's that big of a deal, but it's just something that for the next few months, his immune system is going to be weakened, and so he just has to be careful. But nothing major, thank goodness. He's a healthy guy, just, his immune system's a little compromised at the moment. So we can live with that. That's good. Great news. So, a first timer. Hello, Jean. Welcome. We got South Carolina and Delaware. Let's see. I also, from the cruise, and then I'm going to be done talking cruise. I'm moving on, other than we're doing the cruise project, of course. But I wanted to give a shout out to Linda. She's probably Linda Seitz. She's probably gotten it from other people, but she traveled with us and she helped with the setup. She helped with classes. She was technically just a cruiser, but she roomed with Kathleen the first week, and so she sort of got indoctrinated into the Gloria Horn staff. And just I really appreciate all of the effort and work that she put in. We had a couple others I'm going to give a little shout out at the end that so Troy and Carrie. I know Carrie's on here. I didn't see Troy's name. Thank you both of you for coming after. So we helped get everything set or cleaned up after and packed up. So Troy has amazing jigsaw skills. So if ever you need someone on a puzzle team or something, she was able to pack back the machines like nobody's business. I couldn't get boxes to close because nothing fit right for me, but she can do it. So quite a skill. All right, so those are my cruise comments. I just wanted to say thank you, and so I truly appreciate having met so many of you. I feel like I truly have friends in you, and I'm looking forward to the spring event and hopefully getting to see some of you again live. Some of you mentioned inviting me to meander out and either teach or participate in some things. So certainly keep me in mind. I don't know how I would make it happen, but I love the idea. So spring event, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to give you sneak peeks, but I got to play with the spring event fabric this week, and Kate in particular loves. It's a mini version of the charming duffel, so I think I'm going to bring it over. We don't know what is going to actually. Oh, Steve's saying I could show it. He's coming in and nodding his head like yes. So here's the mini duffel, and look how stinking cute this thing is. It is darn adorable. So Not sure if this is what we'll do at spring event. There is going to be a Bag Lady Club, like one of the big kits again, coming. And so sometimes things that don't make, something that doesn't make it to spring event might make it into that. So there's going to be some fun stuff in there. Hi, Lynn. And so, hi. Oh, I see Sherry's excited to come into spring event. So that is that one. But this one I think is my favorite. So again, same fabrics. A little hard to see because I have this quilt out here. But look at this. It is so stinking cute. So this is woven. Oh, thank you, Kate. Kate's trying to give us a better view. You can see, so I wove these different strips, and then it has this cute little zipper with a little flower. So just, and you can see the woven on the inside. I just used that solid color. That's what's on there. And so, but it's just, it is so stinking adorable. I know it doesn't really go with my jacket, but look at it. You think? All right. It has kind of that, I guess the fabric is called Americana, and so I feel like it kind of has that vibe. So anyway, curious what you guys think. Feel free to make little comments and what you think you might want to make. But both would be good options for the spring event or for our Bag Lady Club. And then I have one other bag, but I haven't made a sample yet. So we may get to use the Bernina at spring event. If so, we want to showcase the fact that that thing is a beast. And so I have a couple ideas where we really get to test the machine and see what it can do. And so I'm probably going to work on a sample. I just need to get that finalized. So anyway, want to give you that sneak peek. So I'm going to set those aside. All right, we got some cutes and some loves it. Wonderful. Love the weave pattern. Oh, thanks, Carrie. I do too. I'm a little obsessed with it. I made it and my whole family's like, would you just stop talking about it? Like, enough. Don't you love every bag? I'm like, no, I like almost all of them, but this one I love. So, and that woven bag, it actually was inspired by, and I meant to write down her name. It's like Von Hoff or something. And she's got a collection coming out, I think with Moda in May. And she made something very similar for Quilt Market. And so I saw pictures of it and, you know, did screenshots. And so that's what I kind of played with to see what I could do. So this one here, the quilt, love the duffel, love both. Oh, good. So we've got lots of comments. I'll go back and read that too. And so this quilt is something that I was telling Kate was for me kind of therapeutic during COVID. So my kids were home and we're trying to do school, and I had always wanted to make a quilt. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I got online to see how to do it and whatever. And many of you know of Donna Jordan, and that she passed last week. And so this is actually one of her patterns. And I love it. I still love it. And those of you, especially that just were in person with me on the cruise, know that I like easy sewing. I like things I can accomplish without frustration, without stress. And this quilt was that. I mean, I had to watch her video to do it, but she's an amazing teacher, or was an amazing teacher. And I actually brought the link to the pattern in case anybody wants to try it. And then we also have the Cafe jelly rolls, because it does use a jelly roll in about 3.5 yards of fabric. So again, I was able to do it. The hardest part, I'm going to show you, this is kind of funny. So I decided to make it bigger and I added a border. And I'm not a quilter, so nobody look closely. So Kate isn't allowed to zoom in too closely. But the hardest part of the whole thing was this corner block. And so I had gotten a magazine, like a quilt magazine, which was totally new to me, and it was paper piecing. So this is paper pieced, and I was like, I think I had to make 20 of these to get the 4 corners. And so, yes, Carrie, right. It was my first quilt, and it's so pretty, isn't it? I love it. And I was able to do it. Now, again, it's not perfect. And that's one of the things I liked about Donna Jordan, is she was like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Here, this is what you're going to do. And it turned out lovely. So, but it's a free pattern. So if anybody's interested in it, it's called the Rainbow Lone Star Pattern by Jordan Fabrics. And then, like I said, I'm going to show you some of the Cafe. We happen to have a bunch of the jelly rolls. So I thought, well, how perfect that we have those. We have, I believe it's the exact same one. At least it looks like it to me. Oof. I think this is the same one right here. And this one is Classics and Stash, so Classics Plus, and you get 40 pieces. I think the pattern calls for 32 pieces. And so, but it's just all this, I'll move the pattern out of the way. I think Kate was gonna post it for you guys. But you can see all the different colors. One of the things she suggested is just picking one to put in your center to kind of bring your eye to the middle. But you can just see all the purples and blues, the greens, coming all the way around into oranges and pinks and the reds. So just really pretty. Yeah, I just saw the tribute this morning, Melissa, and I was in tears. I was just like, because I was debating on bringing the quilt in, and I thought, well, I'm sort of telling you guys about a different place, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. After seeing that, I was like, you know what? Let's bring it in and show, because I appreciated the fact that she had made those videos and made it possible for me to, you know, it sort of decompresses. I help my kids through that time, but also make something that I can look back on and be, you know, good memories of. Here's another cave. This has got some softer colors. Well, they're bright, but they're like soft. So we've got the pinks and the orange. We've got some soft blues in here, into the greens and the lighter purples. And so periwinkle purple. So really pretty. This one is called, oh, this is also Classics Plus.
On the tag.
Oh, it's, oh, you know what? Okay, I see now. This one is called, sorry, this one is called Spectrum. The one like mine is Spectrum. Now I see what I'm supposed to do. And this one's, thank you. And this one's called Sorbet. And so, you can see, it's got all those pretty colors. And you can see, you can see that side too. That kind of gives you an idea of those softer colors. This one, I am a little obsessed with. It is so cool looking. It's like got all the black and whites and then pops of color in there. So really pretty. And then this one is called Polaris. And so you can see those darker colors. And so, and I did bring in 2 different fabrics as far as background if you're interested. And one is kind of a mint color that would be great with any of these. And it's a thatched, which is what I had used for mine. Again, you can't look too closely because this was also, I decided, because I didn't know any better, that it would be a great idea to do free motion quilting. And so, which I had a blast with, and I like the way it looks, except when I look close and I see I got wiggly lines and I went back and forth in places I shouldn't have. I really should have used a cream thread, not a blue. You know, you learn by doing. So, and that's, I try and look at it as, this is my learning experience. So, but anyway, I have 2 more of the capes. So again, if you're interested, great. If not, it's okay. I just wanted to share and kind of a little moment for her. And so this one is called Tidal, and it's mostly blues and greens, little bits of purple and pink in there. And so there comes that purple and the blues going into the teals and then the brighter greens. And you can see those colors. And the next one is mostly purples. And this one is called Royal. And so it's got these really pretty purples and blues, a little bit of the pinks, of course, and bright greens. Just a little of that sort of tossed in there in the burgundy. So just really pretty. And so again, that one is called Tidal. And so, all right, I'm gonna move these over here. All right, and then the fabrics, if you're interested, again, it takes about 3.5 yards of fabric. So if you got 4 yards, you would have plenty. So this first one is just a white on white. It's kind of got like little misshapen dots all over it. And so definitely something that you don't have to worry about it matching up. And so, which I really like. And so, and then, ooh, I forgot to take the plastic off of this one. So this is a thatched, and it's a mint color. And this was actually part of that Serena Shores collection. I mean, it's thatched, so it also comes as just thatched. But look how pretty that green is with all these colors. And it looks really good. He uses the same color schemes in a lot of his work. So it's just really, I think it would be really pretty as a background, especially the black one. The black one in particular, I feel like would be amazing with this as a background. That'd be cool. So, I don't know. I love that. All right. So anyway, enough of that. We're going to go back to, we're being big ladies now. So, All right, put that there. All right, thank you everyone for indulging me, letting me sort of, oh, you want to hold the jelly rolls against them? Sure, my dear. You can do that. Let me bring them back real quick. There you go. So we've got the whites and the greens. You can see them on this one, so that's going to be that spectrum, I believe is what it was called. Am I right? Yep, spectrum. So that was spectrum. You can kind of see that one on there. And then here's that one. And this one is called Tidal. This one may or may not go with the mint so well. It might be really good, but it might feel a little Christmassy. That one's because it's almost all reds. And that one's called Ruby. I actually don't think I showed that one to you before.
Nope, but it's in there.
It's in there. Okay. So look how pretty this is. It's got all the pinks and the reds, a little bit of orange in there. So really pretty. I don't love it with the mint color, but with the white, gorgeous. Wouldn't that be great at Christmas time or Valentine's or year round? Could be year round. All right, grab these other ones. Okay, I'm going to turn this so that you can maybe see more of them. All right, so there was the black one, the black and white called Polaris. Here's Sorbet. This one I think would be really pretty with that mint. And then here's the all green. This might be a little much on the green, but really pretty if you want it to be sort of more of a monochromatic look. And then the purples would be really pretty with it too. But again, I think with the whites too, they all pop. The one I used, it's a slightly off-white. And so, but this was also my discovery of, I don't know how to say his name, but K Facet. And so just love his fabrics. And so here we go. All right. I gotta find a spot to put it. Sorry guys, I'm completely off camera. All right, Tidal looks beautiful. It does, Carol, you're right. Hey Troy, I was just talking about you. If you didn't hear, if you just got here, you'll have to go back and listen. And so, all right, get this out of our way. I gotta get this back in my guest room. Ooh, I just squished the bag. All right, so here we go. So we are going to, today, this is our Shell Yeah bag, our Shell Yeah organizer. This was the cruise project. And so many of you have gotten the kits already. We do have more of the cruise kits available. Most of them are going out in the cream, just so you know, so that's, you'll be getting the cream color. We do have a few blue that are coming, but they're not here yet. And so they were the ones that were on the cruise. And so, Gail, you know, I'm not sure how big it is. It fits on a queen size bed, but I had enlarged it. I know her pattern though, it has instructions for different sizes. So it had, I think, twin, full, and queen. And so I think I had added an extra border because I wanted it a little bit bigger. And so, all right. Oh, just got an internet one. Oh, well, Troy, I'm glad you did make it, but you'll have to go back and listen because I was complimenting you. So, all right. So we're going to work on our pockets today. So we're going to do our open pocket at the bottom. Let me move it up a little. Oh, thank you, Kate. So we're going to work on our open pocket and we're going to do our 2 side pockets. These 3 pockets are done the same exact way. So I stitched up 2 already, and then I'm just going to show you one of them. And then the next thing we're going to do, so here, I'm going to pull those up here. So we've got, just fold this one up so we can tuck it out of our way. All right, so I've already done this one, and I've done one of these. It is intentionally longer. We're going to be making one of these together, so you'll see why. And then the other thing we're going to work on today is our zipper pocket. And so Steve does have me working with a Bernina today, which I'm very excited about. I haven't used it a lot, so bear with me. It's a little different. Like you use the knee press for lifting, and you use your left foot for going. So I might stumble a little bit, but the machine is great. You know, I love how powerful it is, and so we'll be doing that. So those are kind of our goals for today. In your pattern, you'll just, so this week's assignment will be to get your fabrics cut. So if you have one of the cruise kits, your fabrics are already pre-cut for you. But if you got one of the kits from the shop, then those you're just going to have to cut. You got 15-inch strips essentially. And so your homework will be to get those cut and to create those pockets. We're not placing them yet, we're just creating them. So I'm going to start with this pocket first. And so on here, if you're using the quilted fabric, it has two sides. And I apologize, those of you on the cruise, this is a bit repetitive, but I want to make sure everybody gets the chance to do it. One side has shiny thread, one side has dull thread. So there's the dull and there's the shiny. You can see the differences. So the right side is our shiny. And so you want to take, this is our small pocket. So this is our 5 by 6 inch square. And then we're going to take our fabric that is 6 by, what do we cut it at? 6 by 7. And we're going to do right sides together. And you'll see it'll match up on your 6-inch side. Or excuse me, yeah, your 6-inch side. I think I cut that at 7.5. It looks a little long. But we're going to stitch here using about 1/4 inch. It doesn't have to be exact. And so, but we're going to do 1/4 inch. We're going to turn it. We're going to do sort of a stitch in the ditch right under, and then we're going to stitch around. So I'm going to go to that one right now, and that way we'll have those. I'm only doing one, but it's kind of the 3. So the binding cut on the bias. So Dean, we're not making bias binding. We are cheating. And so you'll see right now how I'm making this look like binding. But this is easy sewing. I wanted this to be as easy as possible. There's a lot of steps, but our best friend, anyone who's on the cruise, what is our best friend in this project? And I know I have to wait because there's a little delay. So what are we going to use, especially when we get up to this pocket, that we are going to be like, oh, that's magic. So let's see. I'm waiting. Oh, Kate, how much longer till our answers come on?
Probably, yeah.
For the entire thing, Dean, we're not doing any binding. We're not. And so, tape. Thank you, Troy. Tape. Yes. And no ironing. That's right. We aren't ironing. The only place we will be doing some binding tape is on here. So I should say we do have some binding tape, but we cheat. We cheat on every step of the process basically, and we're going to use tape. So all right, we're going to go over and get this pocket done. So right now I have one of these done, and we're going to work on this one right now. So head over here. See, I want comments over here too. I can't see anything anybody says at this point. All right. So I'm just going to back stitch just a little bit. I'm using about 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm really cheating. I'm using the right side of my foot as my guide. As long as you use something consistent, it's totally fine. One of the things this Bernina has, I don't know if you see it back here, but it has a built-in walking foot. I know it's called something other than that. Steve may come in and be like, Tiffany, this is what it's called. But it's just wonderful because it just moves our fabric along really nicely. With it being built in, we can either use it or move it out of the way. And so really like that feature for us. You don't have to use a walking foot with this because it's really not that thick of fabric, but it is nice. So you can see I did basically 1/4 inch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll this back. I'm going to finger press just like this. And then I'm going to continue to roll that down. And I'm just going to kind of line up my side so I'm nice and neat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to not exactly in the ditch, but I'm going to go over just a little bit into the cream side, and I'm going to stitch down along here to hold that together. I don't want to get too close to the ditch, and the reason for that is if I warble a little bit, which is highly likely because I am quite imperfect, you'll see it crisscross into the blue fabric, whereas if I stay a little bit over to the left, then I don't have to worry about it. If I warble a little bit, you will never know. So, all right, I'm going to put the needle down. I don't know which button does it. That's the only thing with using a different machine. I'm not sure. We'll just put it down with our foot. There we go. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm using my center line on the foot and making sure it stays just a little to the left of that line. And so I'm just going all the way across. And then once I've gone across, I'm actually going to go around the outer edges, but close to the edge, just to sort of hold those fabrics together as we do other steps. So you can see on here, it's close to the edge, but doesn't quite go up there. And now I'm just going to about 1/8 of an inch around the outside edge. And there is overhang here, and that is perfectly fine. The pattern allows for flexibility so that if your approximate 1/4 inch is 3/8 of an inch or 5/8 and someone else's is 5/8, it'll still all work out perfectly. Or if you have an exact 1/4 inch, that will also work. So, all right, here we go. So, like I said, you'll do this for the 3 different pockets, the long open pocket and then the 2 divide pockets. I didn't quite go far enough. There we go. All right. So that pocket is now done. So you can see once you have that on there, we can go ahead and trim that off. When you go to place pockets, we'll talk about it more, but you can have your pocket either facing this way or this way, depending on what you prefer. So, all right, we're done with that. We're gonna just cut off the extra. And you can do, if you want, you can use your rotary cutter or you can just use scissors. Let's see, I'm trying to see if I missed anything. Digital dual feed. I don't know if this is called digital dual feed on the Bernina. It might be. But we're gonna just trim this off real quick. So again, I'm just doing it where that fabric meets up, and you can see that's where it's going. Trim off the other one. All right. So I do think we have a few kits still available of the cruise fabric and of the Serena Shores. I keep forgetting to bring the sample in from home, and so poor Kate, she just keeps laughing at me. She's like, I can't remember anything to save my life. So here's Serena Shores, like the duffel. I do believe this is sold out now. Gloria showed this on Thursday. She sold the charms as well as the kits. And so I don't think I have any more. I don't think we have any more charms available. We'll get the kits done this week. And if we have any extra, I'll show it to you ladies first, of course. And so Tommy just popped in with pizza. What's going on out there?
It's a croissant.
Oh, it's a croissant. He says
it's a pastry.
Oh yeah, Steve came in with a box from Panera that someone brought in for him, and so he's been sharing. There's like this, I think it's called the kitchen sink cookie that's in there that I took a little bit off of. So someone else ate half, so I only ate like a quarter. But yes, we have some goodies. We always have goodies. You know that if you've been here. Anyway, the Solaris. The Serena Shores, I think if I remember right, this is the lining fabric for it. And so that, or excuse me, the exterior. So that's going to be this outside fabric. And so let me see if I can, there you go. So the back of the bag is in this one. And then the fabric for these edges is this green fabric up here. And so those are the 2 fabrics that come with it. And then it comes with the quilted fabric as well and all the other little supplies that you need. And so, but that's the Serena Shores one. And so, so we have that and we have the cruise one. I didn't come up with another kit. I looked to see, just eat the whole cookie. I probably should have, Dean, because now I'm wishing I had. And by the time I finish talking with you guys, it'll be gone. So, let's see. Hi, Steve's in here now. Okay, would you like my mic? He's going to get his own. So we got Steve coming in. And so.
So, hi everyone. I was just outside, so my glasses look like I'm in sunglasses.
Oh yeah, because it's like 35 degrees, but it's sunny.
It is.
So
it's
at
sunny
least
and
it
cold
looks
here.
pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if they got to see the Bernina back here. That
I'm in the way.
there we go.
Let me lean.
So as you guys may or may not know, we recently became Bernina dealers, and just an effort to reach more sewers out there. All the sewing machine companies out there have their strengths for what they bring to the market. So us carrying Baby Lock and Brother, we're still going to continue to do that. But we also know that we have our Bernina enthusiasts out there, and you guys are coming out of the woodwork, and that's great. So this is a Bernina 770 Quarters Edition. This is one of their top sewing machines. So some of the things, it's got a centrally located 7-inch screen. Our Baby Locks, we love them from Brothers for embroidery and the IQ Designer and stuff like that. The Berninas are a different beast of a machine. They're really known for their precision, their Swiss engineering, the ability to sew through anything. It has a much wider stitch path, meaning a 9mm stitch path. I was sewing through like, I don't know, 26, 28 layers of cotton. And when I was doing that, I could feel like my inner Tiffini coming out, that this is like bag making or strap making. So I've been pushing the Berninas on Tiffini to use and stuff like that. So this one has the walking foot that drops down in the back, and Tiffany's going to be using it today.
We just did.
So, you guys used it. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So a lot of the machines, the Berninas, we aren't able to sell directly online, but call us and we can make it happen for you. So if you're interested in any of the Bernina lineup, but this happens to be the Bernina 770 Quilters Edition. So yes, indeed. Yes. The our Bernina people out there too. So
yes.
Yep. And I drank all
Marilyn
the Kool-Aid.
says call.
I saw your message, Marilyn. I'm on it. But I drank all the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and Steve, like, he's got all the gear. He comes in,
did.
he's got like the sweatsuit going on,
Bernina,
the hat.
yeah.
He's like,
because they said you got to get excited about it if you want to make your customers enthusiastic about Bernina. So I asked for more Kool-Aid and I drank it too. So, but that's all. So I just wanted to say that.
And
so.
I'm all, you guys know, like he throws it at me and I'm like, oh my God, this thing's a beast.
Yeah. So thanks. Yep.
All right, thanks, Steve. So, all right. So he's gonna go call some people back. So. All right, so we're going to work on our zipper pocket right now. And what you're going to need for that is you're going to need a zipper. And then you need your 1.5 inch. And you're going to need, what do you need? Your vinyl. And so the vinyl, we've got a couple of different ones. This one's a holographic one. And so we actually have, in case you're trying to do your own kits, I want to also show you supplies kind of as we go along. So we have zippers available. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we've got various colors and lengths. This doesn't take a real long zipper, like 18 inches is fine. We have a few that are like 20 inches, and then we also have some 30-inch ones if you want a different color. But this is a by Annie product. This is just clear. I don't have a glitter one for you, but the clear is really nice because you can see everything in there. It's a 16 gauge. This is 16 inches by 54. It is more than you need for a single bag. You can tell it's a fairly small strip that you need. And so you would be able to make lots of them or use it for other projects or even vinyl bags. But so the by Annie Premium Clear Vinyl is something that we have available for you. The zippers, we have also the zipper tape if you like the tape better, and I have it in red with gold, or I have the white with the silver, which is really pretty and goes with most everything. They come with, they're the donut style zipper pulls. Of course, I can't get one to show, but they're just basically a little circle on the end of them. So they're nice because you can add anything you want to. You could add just some ribbon, you could add a charm, you can do, anything like that. And it's nice, it has like a little holder there. So those things are available. Strapping, and I do want to make sure we get our pocket done, but I also want to show you strapping. So this bag uses a 1-inch strap on the outside for the handle. So this is our handle. It uses about 1 yard. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever the case may be, our strapping, we have it set up in 5-yard increments. So you'll end up with more than you need, but you'll be able to make multiple or use them for straps on, just like your grocery totes that you like. Well, I like to make them. I shouldn't say you do. I don't know what you like to make necessarily. But we have these 1 inches in 4 different colors. We have it in bright yellow, white, red, and black. So there we go. Oh, now I see Gloria. You think she'll come in too? So, all right, so we have those straps. I think that's kind of everything I had for this step. So we're going to be doing a little bit of ironing here in a second, which means I should turn our iron on. Because Dean, you asked about the binding and bias, and I kind of was like, oh, we don't really use binding. Well, we do. We just aren't using bias, and so. Melissa, I agree with you. So Melissa just commented that she's tempted by the Bernina. I'm like, I am too, and I have the Accomplish at home, and it's great. But this Bernina, I'm telling you, it is it's a beast. And I'm like, they're talking about having a Bernina room at the spring event, and I'm like, yes, do it, because if you do, that means we've got a handful of machines at the price for the used price. So I'm very excited. I'm like, okay, I'll design a bag for that, and then one of those machines is coming home with me. So I was home for like 30 minutes. I was home longer than that, for like a week, and I'm like telling my husband, like, they just said we may have this machine at the thing. Do you care if one sort of makes its way home? He's like, no, that's fine. And so I'm like, whew. So I got the okay. I got the green light. All right, back to work. So we're going to need, you'll be cutting strips of this. We'll want 2 strips of the 2 by 15 inch, and we're going to be turning these into binding. If you have this cool little tool right here, then it's really easy to make strips. You just put them in and iron them. I've shown it before. I love it. If you don't, that's okay. We mark down the center with a line, and then we fold and press. And so I'm going to open this up. I should have brought mine from home so that I wasn't opening another one, but what can I say? I didn't do it. So here we go. So we're going to do that. So we need 2 of those. So you'll be making 5 in total. And so what I also have available for you is, and this thing is so cute, I brought one of these with me on the cruise because, again, I plan ahead. And I think this is the cutest iron ever. It is a Tula pink. I mean, it's pink, for goodness sakes. How do you not love this? And it's got like little rainbow stuff along the side, little fishies. It is an auto shut-off. So if you have the previous Aliso iron, the mini was not, it didn't have auto shut-off. So this one does. It is just regular cut, Dean. Yeah. But anyway, so this iron, if you're interested in it, like I said, I made sure one went on the cruise with me so that I could then take it home with me. So I now have this one at home too, and I love it. It's so sweet. And again, auto shut off, so really nice. You don't have to worry about it. I know my old Aliso didn't have that, and I really struggle with remembering to turn it off. So that's in our lineup today for you if you are interested in the market for a new little mini. And then wool mats. Some of you probably have wool mats already. If you don't, though, these things are wonderful. They are a game changer. They heat up underneath, kind of hold that steam. They do get a weird, like, funky, wet lamb smell. So when you first use it and you're ironing and you're steaming, it'll, how long before it shuts off? That's a great question, Troy. Let's see if it tells us. I'm sure it tells us somewhere. But anyway, the wool mat's nice because it holds that heat. And so when you're pressing, it really, it presses kind of from both sides. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try and see if I can find this quickly. Yeah, sheep funk, Susan. That's a really great way of putting it. But anyway, I brought in a few of these. I think Kate put in multiple sizes. I have a relatively small one on my sewing table. It's about this size, and I like it because I have a small cutting mat and an iron and a pressing mat, so I can kind of work at my sewing table without, having to move over to something bigger. And so, let's see. Standby button, pro light.
30 minutes for vertical and then 10 minutes for horizontal.
Oh, thank you. So I don't know if you heard Kate, probably not because I don't think she has a mic, but it's like this, 10 minutes and it shuts itself off. If you have it upright, 30 minutes. So not a ton of time, but what's nice is it will it turns off automatically for you, which I love, love, love. So, all right, put that back in here so we don't lose the owner's manual because I already have mine at home. I don't need that one. All right, so again, we have this one. This is a 13.5-inch square, so a nice size. Then, but if you're like, oh, I'm not sure what I would use, well, these ones come in a set of 4. And look at them. They're like jigsaw puzzles. So these are actually from New Zealand. They're 100% wool. Each square, I'm guessing is 12 by 12, but let's see. Actually, it's 10 by 10. So really, really nice for being able to like have that flexibility of how you do it. I know for me at home, having a 10-inch by 20-inch rectangle would be really nice. So, and then when I want bigger, I could actually add on. So anyway, again, I'm just trying to show you things that I think would be useful if you don't already have them at home, or if you just need more things. So, oh, I forgot to show you this. Now, I don't do much embroidery. You guys know that. I'm like pretty much straight sewing. But when I was getting the iron out, look at this USB. It's a Tula Pink USB. It's a little pink unicorn. We only have 2 of them downstairs. It's a 16 gigabyte. So anyway, if anybody's interested in having a little unicorn, there you go. Isn't it cute? So, all right. I think I'm done playing now. Oh, hardware. Hardware's in there. Depending on what size strap, you could use a 1.5-inch strap or 1 inch. You can completely vary that. That's an easy thing to adjust. And so we have both the 1.5-inch rectangles and the 1 inch. I like the rectangles. You could also go with just a traditional, the D-ring would work well for this as well. You could put in a swivel hook. You could change up whatever you put on there. And so, but I wanted to put those in there too. So again, if you're trying to do your own kit, you have access to the supplies that you need for it. So, all right, let me grab our pressing mat. Get my things organized a little bit. Ugh, a little messy. What time do we have? I feel like with people coming in and out and me getting distracted. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Now, I know I've shown you this before. I'm just gonna do a couple of them because we need a couple of them for this, but we're gonna put this in here and just sort of thread that in. Now, and there it goes. Now to get it through, it's much easier if you have a stiletto to pull that through. Let me see if we have one in here. I, of course, didn't think this through far enough to have one with me, but I do have these little tweezers I think will fit in. Yeah, here we go. Perfect. So you kind of just pull that out and you can see it's coming out really nicely for me. It can come out about, I don't know, like 4 or 5 inches. And then I'll be able just to press that. So there we go. Now, if you got the cruise package, one of the cruise kits, those are already created for you. So those are already made. So you won't have to go through this step. So we need 2 for what we're doing with our pocket today. And I apologize. I meant to do this beforehand. That's okay. It's not going to take us very long because we have this cool little tool. All right. Oh, the shop USB. Yeah, it was nice. So on the cruise, everybody got these USBs and they were really nice. Kathy, what are you doing in the backseat of your car? All right, here we go. This one. All right. You sound like me. I was just at Nico's soccer game on Saturday, and I love when he has soccer games where I can stay in the car and watch. And so, oops, this one's coming. This one twisted on me inside there. We're gonna just finish that one up like that. So yeah, I was able to like sit in the car and like I put the window down just a little bit so I could hear, but it was chilly. So it was like, you know, I didn't want to be cold. So I had my heat warmer on. And at one point I had Gloria's show on. I can't remember what show I was watching, probably the Thursday show, just so I would kind of know what was going on. So I get it. I do the same thing. And so, Dean, I'm not sure what you're insinuating, but all right, here we go. So we've got that. Now we're going to need our tape. So, yeah. So this is, and this is available as always, but this is kind of Bag Lady's best friend, or gentleman, as the case may be. And this is the By Annie double-sided basting tape. This is the 1/8 inch. I do believe she makes it in a 1/4 inch as well. I like the 1/8 inch most of the time, a little better. And the reason for that is if we're using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, then the tape doesn't get sewn on. And so you can sew through it. Those of you that were on the cruise, you know this project takes a lot of tape. And so it meant that we were cleaning our needle and cleaning the footbed. And so, they're getting silly today on here. Janet, yeah, you should have on the cruise USB, it should have all the embroidery files you needed for like Kimberbell and the pillow. And I think for the edge to edge, I know for me it includes, let's see if I have everything. It includes the pattern for the bag we're working on, the organizer. It includes the bonus project, which is this little drawstring bag. It also includes this little bag. So if you got the kit where you have to cut it yourself, you will have enough fabric to make the organizer plus these 2 bags. If you got a cruise kit, unfortunately, the way we cut that, we had pulled the extra out. And so you're not going to have the extra fabric there. I know some of you, I was able to catch and give some of that extra fabric, but oh, Dean, you were like a serious culprit. But anyway, these 3 projects are on there. The other one that's going to be on there is the Charming Duffel. So I had decided at the last minute to give the okay for the Charming Duffel to go on there because so many of the cruisers were wanting to do it and asking about it. And I finally was like, you know what, let's just add it in there. So, all right. I'm not reading nearly enough to know what's going on over here. So, I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I love this community so much. And later I'm going to go back and I'm going to read all your comments and I am going to be laughing my little head off. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So, all right, I'm going to slide this up. Again, what we're working on next is our zipper pocket. So we are going to, I'm going to read a message for my son real quick. Let's see. Oh, my son is all happy because they have now excused pretty much all of his sick days at school. And so I had gotten a nastygram while on the cruise from the school. And so I had his doctor yesterday write a note that excused 10 absences. So, all right. So what we're going to do oops, this is backwards for you guys. All right. So the zipper, generally speaking, you're going to want your zipper to close to the left. So I've got this for you guys off to the left. We are going to mark on our zipper. So we want to put it right side up. And we're going to use an air erase marker, which I forgot to have us put in the lineup. I forgot I'd be using that today. And I don't have one in here. So you want an air erase marker. And I know that Kate is putting it in there for you right now because she is amazing. So, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead. I'm using this one, which is heat erase. We don't want heat erase. We want air erase. And so, oh, going through Tennessee. Nice. All right. So I'm going to mark on here. And you want to use this as our 15-inch line. So your binding that we just made, put it up like this. We're going to use it as our marker. We want to come down about 1 inch from the zipper. If you want, you can, what I had said on the cruise is pull down your zipper tab like that, and you can then mark just underneath there, and that gives you a good line for it. This, I believe, is an 18-inch. Yeah, this is an 18-inch zipper. I do recommend using at least an 18. You can go smaller. You could go down to a 16, but it's nice having that extra leeway so that you're not like kind of forcing things in. So, all right, so we've got that marked, which is perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our tape, and we're going to put it on the outer edge of our zipper. So we're going to do it close to the edge. You want it within 1/8 of an inch of the edge. And so I'm just kind of pushing that down as I go. And so here we go. And I want to stop before I get to those lines. So I'm starting just inside of it, and I'm ending just before I get there. And then again, I'm going to do that on both sides. We're going to leave that paper on though. Don't take that paper off. So here we go. All right. All right, here we go. All right, so again, I'm just going to press that down. It is a little easier to take it off if you kind of like really rub the end. So you can see I'm using my nail. If you don't have a nail like that, you can use like scissors, you can use whatever. And then usually it will kind of peel up when you do that. So it is kind of peeling up, so that's good. All right, next we're going to take one of our strips here, and I want to show you where we're going to put it. We're going to line it up in between those marks that we made. So I'm lining it up there, and it's going to go on that tape. And you can see I've got those raw edges up, and I'm lining up the folded edge with the outer edge of the zipper. So it's going to go up on this edge, only one side. So I'm going to take that paper off now, just on one side, just like that. And then I'm going to put this on. Again, I'm using those lines as where to put it, and I'm putting it right on there. There we go. All right. And I'm just pushing that down with my hand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to stitch using about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I say about because with the zipper teeth, it's not going to be exact. And this is going to get hidden. So those of you on the cruise can all tell everyone else, they all get hidden, right? We don't have to have perfect stitches. We don't have to have perfect seams. It's not until we get to the part of folding this over do we really care how our stitches look. So I'm going back over to the machine now. And of course, Steve has me on a new machine. I'm going to have to think about what I'm doing here. Let's see. I'm going to remove our dual feed. And then let's see. We want to move. Nope, we don't want that. No, that's our stitch length. I might need Steve. No, we don't want to do that. That's a crazy stitch. You know what? I think we can just make it work. It would be nice though if I could figure out how to do it right.
Can you go get some?
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'm so sorry. Oh, I figured it out. Okay, so guys, this is actually pretty cool. So there's this big old button over here, huge, and it moves, look at this, it moves my needle over whatever direction I want. That's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the foot down. So I'm lining up the foot right with those zipper teeth there, and I've got my needle over to the right, and we're just gonna go for it. And we're keeping it folded. And we're just going to take our time. And off we go. Now that tape is helping hold everything in place. Just put that for a second. if it feels like you're starting to get like a little fold or something in there, this isn't, but I wanted to point it out. Like if you feel like it is, lift up the foot and just put it back down. Sometimes that means that fabric, if it's getting pulled a little bit, it'll lay back down nicely. So this is laying nicely for us, but just in case. All the way to the end here. All right, and then we're just going to cut. All right, so you can see we stitched all along there, and now we're going to go over. And those of you from the cruise, what's our next step? I know you know. Everybody knows. But it takes a minute. We'll see. This is what we're going for. So I know you're all going to start saying tape. Anytime you're in doubt of what to do, the answer is pretty much always tape. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put that tape down on top of the stitch we just made. So we're just going to go right across there, just like that, all the way across. And we're going to stop just before we get to the end, because if you go past the end or get to the very end, it can be a little harder to pull off that tape. So what we're doing currently is we're going to be adding this 1.5 by 15 inch piece. Now I'm realizing my piece is actually longer than 15. And so I'm going to just trim that down real quick to 15. It doesn't have to be exact, but I was at 16.5, so that was a little too long for what we're doing. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take off the paper. We're going to put this in. We want to be aware of the fact that we need a little space for our zipper teeth, so we don't want to get too close to the edge. I like to kind of go about 1/8 of an inch. I don't know if you can see it. If I turn it this way, you might be able to see better. So when I'm putting it on, I like to go about 1/8 of an inch to about a 16th to 1/8 of an inch away from that raw edge. And what that does is it leaves me enough space when I pull this over that I've got room for the zipper teeth and the zipper head to come through. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just take this off now. The other end. There's all kinds of activity going on out there. And I'm terrible. You know that. I get distracted easily, so I'm kind of like, I'm going to have Kate grab the camera and we're going to go on a field trip out there. So, all right. So here we go. We're going to put this on. Again, I'm going about 1/16 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch away from that edge. I'm lining it in with that end of the binding. And here we go. All the way down. Perfect. And so then we're going to stitch across this one now. We want to make sure it gets attached to the zipper, and then we're going to tape, and then we're going to put this on. Now the steps we're doing for this right now are the same steps we're going to do on the other side, but for the vinyl. And so, so as we go through, when I get to the end, I'll kind of say, all right, there's only one change between doing the quilted fabric on the top and the vinyl on the bottom, and I'll explain that shortly. So let me go back over here. Now that I know how to move the needle, so exciting. Actually, you know what? Let's go back from the other side. It works better from up here. All right. Yeah, I am going to drop that foot down for us. Oh, I don't think it wants to do it while we're active. All right, so we're going to engage that foot. Yeah, because you can see without it, it was kind of puckering on me just a little bit there. Not horribly, but I think this will be a little better. Come on, there you go. And move the needle over just a little bit. And I can see my quilted fabric keeps wanting to kind of pucker. It's just a little loose there. So we just want to be careful that's staying flat. If you have a stiletto or like some sort of little flat tool that can help keep that down. I'm kind of using my nail now that I realize what it's doing. There we go. This looks like it's slid over just a little bit. There we are. All the way off to the end. Perfect. And now we're just going to give that a quick cut. All right. And we're going to go back and we're going to add tape. And so, someone's asking about the Glorious Summer cutting correction. Yes, Ruth Ann is actually here already. So she was planning on coming in at 1, and I said, that's fine, but I didn't think I'd quite be finished. Oh, sorry, let me tell you. So Ruth Ann is coming when I'm done, and she's going to show you the cutting corrections on that. I know she was looking for a ruler earlier, so I think she has a couple things she's looking for to get you started. Melissa, this does have a jumbo bobbin. Steve filled it beforehand, and it is huge, 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 huge. All right, so what we're going to do now, it seems kind of odd, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to add tape to the seam we just did. So we're just adding tape right on top of that, going down to the end and trimming before we get all the way to the end. So I'll show you. So here's what we've got going on. So we've got that tape, and that went right on top of that stitch line, maybe slightly over, and that's fine. Again, if it's not perfect, it's okay, because up to this point, anything we've sewn in there, no one will see. And so, because what's going to happen now is we're going to be folding over our binding tape just like that, and then we're going to stitch it down, and we'll be finished with this side. And so, all right, so I'm going to go ahead, see if this will lift off nicely for me. I've been lucky so far today. Oh, perfect. All right. There we go. I had bought and a couple people on the cruise asked me about like no name brand, or, and I had tried a couple other brands of tape, and I had one at home that I was using this weekend as I was making those samples I showed you earlier. And oh my gosh, they were terrible. I could barely get the paper off of them. So, all right. So you can see I've folded that down. As I'm doing it, I try and keep my distance from the zipper teeth similar. It doesn't have to be exact. We're only going to stitch on this side here. And the reason we're doing that is if we stitch on both sides, you can see exactly what I do. On here, you can see it's loose. It allows my zipper pull to go through nice and easily. So, and if I'm a little off, no one knows. And so we're going to go over, we're going to stitch this down real quick, and then this side will be complete. Now I am moving the needle. For me, it's a little easier if I have a mark to use. So I'm moving the needle back to center, and then I'm going to actually use the inside of the foot here. Now each foot could be different, just whatever works well for you. I'm going to use the inside of the foot as my lineup for where I put the side of the binding. So you can kind of see I've got the binding right there and my needles here. So I'm going to have that's going to be my seam allowance. And so go. It just needs to be consistent. And that tape does wonders for keeping that binding on there and keeping it smooth. Without it, it tends to kind of pucker up and kind of pull. And so with having the combination of that dual feed plus the tape, we've got all kinds of things holding it in place. So you can see, look how nice that looks. And so, and it was pretty easy. I wasn't having to fight with it or anything. We just kind of slid right along. So that's that side. Now, what you'll do, so you can see that's completely attached on there. So the other side, you're going to do the exact same thing we did before. So what I do is I just turn my zipper because I like to look at it from the same direction. We've got the tape on already from our first step. We're going to put this on just like that. We're going to tape it on, and then we're going to go over and we're going to stitch. And we want to get close to the teeth like we did before. Then we're going to put tape on. And then instead of using the fabric, we're going to put our vinyl on. Now here's where there's a slight difference. When you put that on, we are not going to stitch again right now. So we've got it held on with only tape. We're then going to add another piece of tape on top. We'll fold it down, and then we're going to, and onto the tape, because you'll have tape on top of there. And then you're just going to stitch on the outside edge just like we did before, and that will complete your zipper pocket. So for homework this week, what I want you to do is I want you to complete these 3 pockets, right? So you're gonna get your fabrics cut, and you're gonna complete those 3 pockets, and you're going to get your zipper pocket to this point where you've got, this will be folded down, where you've got your vinyl in there and here. When we come back, I'll show you how to, well, I guess I could show you now, except I don't have my other side on, so it's hard. I'll show you how to finish off your zipper ends too, because I think we're getting close to time, and I know we've got Ruth Ann coming in too, so I don't want to keep you too long. So, Mary, the pattern, I need to figure out how we can do patterns separately. Right now, they're only available in the kit. I am looking at possibly doing an Etsy shop, and it's kind of only available to customers from here. The one that I'm looking at doing, I've started setting it up, is called Bag Lady Club. So hopefully in another week, I'll have it set up, but and it'll be just a minimal amount, but really the patterns are for the kits here. So, but yeah, as of right now, it's just through kits. So. All right, so that is your homework for the week. Next week, what we'll do is we're going to just finish off the zipper ends. I have kind of a little trick I like to do. I guess I could tell you what it is. I bring my zipper down about 1 inch. I crisscross my zipper teeth so they just barely cross. They still touch. And then I use a clip, which normally we have one in here. Somebody did some serious cleaning. All right, so we're going to use just a pin. A pin will work as well. Usually I use clips, but so you can see I'm just going to sort of thread that over, getting both sides. Oop, just poked myself. And what that does is it just sort of holds that crisscross there. So then what you'll do is you'll stitch back and forth across here, and that will secure that. You want to really make sure that zipper pull is over about 1 inch or so from the end before you do that. And then you'll stitch down here the same thing. I like to wait until after I have the vinyl on as well, because if I make a mistake and I'm off, let's say I put it on and I end up over here, I'm like off by, you know, a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Let's see, where am I at? There we go. See how I'm off? If I am, that's okay. The pattern can allow for there being some variances, but I don't want to end my zipper down here when really I need to end it here. So anyway. The kits have all the zippers. So let me show you on here. So the kit is going to include the quilted fabric. It's going to include the fabric for around your edging and your pockets. It includes the elastic. It includes the backing fabric. It includes the zipper, the hardware, and the strapping. So if you get a kit, you get everything. And generally speaking, our kits, we are charging what supplies are. We're not upcharging you anything. And so if you're wanting to do it anyway and you like either the fabric collections, it's a great way to do it. The other thing is with this, there's not a lot of fabric in it. So even if you were like, I don't love the fabric, but I want all the supplies, the cost of the fabric in the kit is pretty minimal. You're only getting I think it's like a 1/2 yard of this one, and I can't remember. I guess you're getting about 3/4 of a yard in total of fabric. So anyway, that's up to you to decide, but that's kind of what it is. Percentage off. That's a good question. I don't know. Oh, Kate said she thinks it's 10% back. So that's pretty awesome. If Steve can hear me, Steve, everybody pops in here when I don't need them, and now I need them. Kate said it is 10. So you get 10% back into your account. And so that's amazing. I didn't know we had 10. So Lisa, if you're going to do the pattern using the pre-quilted fabric, so the kits currently have pre-quilted fabric in them, so you don't need any interfacing or stabilizer for it. If you want to use completely your own fabric, though, then obviously you would need to use something. I would suggest the same, if you wanted the same weight as this, probably a heavyweight fusible fleece. You could definitely use like a foam, like a Bosal or Biani Soft and Stable, and that would be fun too. It would certainly show your stitching more. But it would give you a little more bulk. So lots of choices. It's just kind of a personal preference. So, all right. I think that's everything I have for you guys today. Did I catch everything? I think I did good. All right. Well, everyone, thank you again so much for being here. Thank you for your support on the cruise. I truly appreciate it. It meant a lot to me, and getting to meet all of you. Super, super fun. And I can't wait to see you again. And I will see, and yes, the pattern is included in the kit as well. So any more questions? I don't want to cut you guys off. Oh, you have questions more? The more colorful kit. The shiny green ribbon. So Taffy, if you got the bright one, the Notions one, that is actually going to be your elastic. So when we go to do this step and the step here for your dividers, you actually have green across there. If you go back to the show, you can see that Sherry's version that she did with those colors, she used a red strap and she used green elastic. So I tried to use all the same supplies I possibly could. And so, oh, Dean, oh, please. Nobody believes you. I love that you're trying, though. All right, everyone. Thanks again so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.